Hi, and welcome to our webinar today. Thanks so much for joining us. My name is Lori Gebert with Asset Vue. I'm joined here today by a wonderful crew. I'm excited to kick off our call today and discuss with them. Today we're covering unlocking success with Asset Vue. It's an how asset management solutions with Asset Vue have benefited GPX Asset Management. They're actually based in Guam. We're really excited for them to join us today. Time change is always a little fun for everybody, but I was glad they could come on board. I've got a few guests I'd like to introduce here from the GPX Asset Management team. Got Don Polino, who's the general manager. I also have Robert Polino, who is the asset manager. And I have Ian Quintanilla, whose name I tried several times to pronounce, who's a technical instructor at GPX. And then I've got from the Asset Vue team, Trey Barnes, who's one of our solutions engineers who helped on this project. So welcome to all of you. Thank you guys so much for taking the time today. I really appreciate it. A little background on GPX Asset Management. They came to us with a particular issue and particular problem. We had a great time working with them. We continue to work with them on their projects, and it's been a really great opportunity. So we wanted to showcase what we've done so far and the success that we've had. And to start off today, wanted to start with Don. Don, you can give us a little bit of an overview of what your initial, asset management issues were, and what brought you to looking into a solution like Asset Vue, why you were looking for solutions like Asset Vue to start.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for having us, Lori. So our challenge was we needed to manage up to 250,000 fixed assets in real time. And that management and tracking software, we needed to have reports, we needed to have depreciation, as well as inventory solutions that allowed for swift inventory to be conducted. With the 250,000 assets, we have a capability of up to 31 million fields of data, though currently we used about 9.5 million fields of data. So we came to Asset Vue because we could not find a better solution for achieving the latency we wanted to work with. Everybody knows slow apps don't get used, and we ended up choosing Asset Vue because the software environment that Vue provided to us met our latency needs and our other requirements as well.
Excellent. Glad to hear that. And then Robert, if I could kick it over to you, can you explain a little bit about, how it was that those issues were addressed? I know Don talks a little bit about the latency and just the sheer amount, of data that we had. Can you, go a little bit more detail kind of on that and, what you guys were looking for there?
Yes, sure. The problem or the challenge that we had to present to Asset Vue was, as Don mentioned, was to account for almost 10 million points of data and a very rich environment that I'm sure Trey can attest to as well, that the data contains such a variety of information that speaks to so many different levels of authority and accountability for our client, and being able to map that data and being able to have it function, take action items in order for us to account for assets and for us to make changes and take action items on those assets was such a big ask. And it was something that just navigating through it, making sense of it. We were very happy to work with Asset Vue, and they took on the challenge. Asset Vue took on the challenge even before, we reached an agreement with them. Asset Vue demonstrated the capabilities, and we were very happy that they took that initiative. You folks took the initiative to demonstrate everything that your software could do, and that helped us to really reach the decision that we eventually made. And the desktop applications, the mobile application device, able to handle all that data and be able to be synced together, allow us to move that information in real time, was really a monumentous task in order for us to really provide for our client that real-time environment. And so we know that this was not your typical asset that had maybe 4 or 5 attributes, talking about 100 plus attributes, talking down to the very GL account that purchased that asset. It was just a tremendous, data rich environment. So Asset Vue was able to help us to find the solution, help us to navigate through that data rich environment, and work with us to really make sense of it all. So we are more than happy, and we know that our end user is more than happy with the product, and so we're happy to work with Asset Vue.
Awesome. Robert, quick question for you just to follow up on that. So it's a lot of fields. There's a lot of data for sure, a lot of assets. How are you managing this before you guys had Asset Vue? What did that kind of process look like prior to this?
It didn't look very well. We had to go through a lot of sorting, a lot of different reports to come down to those assets that we really needed to isolate. And what Asset Vue did was really provide us an environment that was easily customizable, easy to move data around, to organize it in the way that our end user needs it to be. So even with those 100 plus fields, they only really need to see 5 or 10, but still having that data in the environment, in the background, still being able to be pulled up at any moment, gave us some real solutions along the way. Just to give one example, when we came across an asset that did not have an asset tag, it did have a serial number tag. And because we were able to scan that serial number, and that data is captured in Asset Vue, we were able to identify that asset. We were able to take action on it, and it didn't require us to go back into the office to look at more data, to look up transactional history. We were able to identify it right then, in real time. So it really provides a great efficiency in that environment and allows us to work very productive.
Awesome. Good. So glad to hear that. And Ian, I saw you nodding your head down there because he's like, yes. all these things. Yeah, my next point is to Ian, actually. My next question here. I know that you're the technical instructor that were there. I know you spent a lot of time in the application, doing a lot of work. Can you talk to me a little about some of the inefficiencies that you gained through using this application, and how working with Trey and the rest of the team was?
Yeah, so in terms of latency, it took items usually about 30 seconds or 20 seconds to scan and search for assets. But through Asset Vue, that went down to about 0.5 seconds, like half a second. So that's like a huge increase. And not only that, but in the field, it usually takes about a week or so to complete a school's inventory. And that's about like 200-300 assets like a day. But using Asset Vue, that process goes down to like about 3 or 4 days, to get mostly about 400 or 500 assets a day inventoried. And that's a huge increase that like decreases a lot of time having to go back to the same school, and that saves a lot of gas. Robin had to drive down from one side of the island to the other, spending $200 in gas. So I'm pretty sure Robin could attest to that too. But yeah, it definitely made the process of inventorying and reporting a lot more efficient. Usually to make an inventory list and inventory reports, it would take about like a week or so. And that went down to like 30 minutes, so we're able to get those inventory lists back out to the schools within like record time, that it just makes the process a lot easier, better, and faster.
Give you a lot of time back, right? Right. It sounds like absolutely. That's excellent to hear. It's what we strive to do. Trey, if I can ask you a couple questions here, because I know you're the man behind the magic. Everything that we do, this was a lot of data, right? These are a lot of fields. Can you give us a little bit of an insight into some of the work that you did, to kind of work with the team and make the solution a reality for them?
Yes, I can speak to that. Kind of like Robert alluded, we've been in communication with GPX, Asset Vue since the beginning of 3.x and us rolling it out. So, day one, 3.x was not really capable of doing all of this at the moment. So
Right.
it was definitely like a really important relationship to build with the GPX team on, what they would like to see, what is the application missing, the data integrity portion of it, all of that was very important in what we have today and, Asset Vue 3.4 at the moment. And, just really appreciate them for their patience with a lot of this because, like I said, we didn't come to this in day one. It was a lot of conversation, but the GPX team was really concise on what they wanted, how they wanted it. And we were able to, just kind of deliver that. And it's been like a working relationship ever since.
Yeah.
So, it definitely took some time, but I think we definitely got a great flow of it. And I'm so happy to hear all the progress that they're making and saving so much money on gas, it's really important.
Absolutely, absolutely. And Donna, Robert, just a quick question for you. As far as the process was, with meeting with the team and going over your list, because I was in some of those meetings where we were making the list of, we have this requirement, the next one. How just talk a little bit about how that went, how the communication went, from kind of our side to your side, and how you felt that rolled through. Either one of you, feel free to jump in, or Ian too, whoever would like to.
Yeah. So, man, the email correspondence between Trey, especially, because he's kind of our go-to guy when it comes to issues, and him and the asset support team, they've been very respondent. It usually doesn't really take them that long to respond to us. And, given our time zones are very different. So, at night for us is like 5 a.m. for them. But they've been very respondent. They've been very quick to answer. And when they do, they always, always start with, "Oh, hi, Ian, good morning," or "good night." And, it's very nice to see that, they're very respectful, but also they've also been very informative and always try to guide us on, when these things are going to be accomplished. So they always give us like these times and dates to reassure us that these things are going to be done. And we like to hear that. We like to hear that, these things that we need, they're going to get done. You just got to give us some time to work on it. And, that's always very appreciative of us. Very grateful to be working with them. And they've also been informative and helpful whenever we have action items that we need to get implemented. So, and Sean also, he's been helping us guide us on what ways to do, or like what other, like how to execute these things. It's just, yeah, they've been very informative. They're very smart guys, especially Trey. I like Trey a lot, man. That guy is a genius.
I agree. I'm not going to disagree with you on that one.
If I can jump in, as well, one of our conversations, and just to speak to the collaboration, I think that we both learned from each other with Trey and the development team. I remember Trey saying to me during the meeting, one of our meetings, that GPX, or we've helped contribute to make Asset Vue a better company, and I took that as really just a great value that we're providing. Sometimes when you're too close to the forest, you can't see. Too close to the trees, you can't see the forest. And we're coming from a different perspective. We're coming in from the end user's perspective and how we're viewing things. And when we are collaborating and we're able to be succinct in what we're trying to achieve, I think we're that collaboration provides a mutual benefit, and I think that we help to make a better product overall. And that's, I think it's speaking to all the other clients that are out there, that giving valuable feedback to how the product works, what areas that we can improve. And it really has been such a great collaboration. Asset Vue has been really, you've been very accessible when we do need to have a conversation, and you've been very personable about that. Always cameras on, which were a big thing for us starting out. We certainly wanted to have that confidence in the folks that we were working with. That was a very big concern for us, is that we were able to see the folks behind the screen and be able to really feel like we've known you. And we definitely welcome you guys to visit the island one day.
It's on my bucket list. I gotta get there. I just gotta adjust the time zone, the time change first. feeling challenged there. But no, thank you, Robert, for that. That's an excellent point, and something that we do with all of our clients. It's brought in some great items for us to work on that we did incorporate into the application as a whole and rolled out to all of our clients. So you're absolutely right. The aspects that you needed to work on went to everybody and made it better, without a doubt. So we thank you for the challenges that you gave us, that gave us a better product to give to everybody. So, we really appreciate you guys. And I look forward to a long relationship with all of you. As far as, our conversation today goes, I want to thank you all so much for your time, for your input, for continuing to work with our team. We've really enjoyed everything that we've done with you guys so far, and we look forward to doing, even more in the future. For everyone watching today, we had a very successful use case here. A lot of data, a very positive experience, and we'd love to do the same for your organization. So if you have any questions for us, you can feel free to reach out via the contact information listed. We'll be happy to discuss your challenges and see how we can create the next success case for you. So, gentlemen, thank you all again for your time today, and I hope everyone has a great rest of your week. Take care.